Think I've got the sniper enough under control to drive it around a little bit. So now I'm going to address another problem that I created for myself. My trailing arm Heim joints, the ones I had showed a tiny bit of wear. So I spent big money, medium big money, to get urethane lined, silicone impregnated, supposedly squeak free Heim joints, and they were squeak free for maybe a week, and now they squeak something terrible. So I have now spent more sort of big bucks and going to replace them with some with a Zerk fitting on them, and we'll see how that goes. So it's nothing spectacular, but still finding time to work on the Cobra. We'll show you an update in a little while. Back in the olden days, 17, 18 years old and going out into the workforce, my dad told me to go through the garage that him and his brother, my Uncle Gene, had in a little town, and said, "Get what you need." They were getting ready to kind of shut the operation down, and said, "Get what you need, pick through the stuff, and go out and earn your living." So that wrench there, I have to figure out how to show it again maybe. It's an old Craftsman, and it's bent. And like every young teenager, or not teenager, but child growing up, your dad is this monstrous strong person and can do anything. And every time I grab this wrench out of his old collection and pick it up, it's a 15/16, so it goes on a big bolt, and see it's bent, I think of him and what he must have been doing to bend that wrench. So I'm using the wrench, getting in here, taking out these 5/8 diameter bolts, which, as I said, have a 15/16 head, so this raggedy old body is not looking forward to it. A couple of them I can get to with the impact, that part's not so much. But we'll get a hold of these big old wrenches and get these trailing arms off and make them quiet. Last time I'd put these in, this is kind of what I did. I just drew a little quick outline here. Probably a little overkill, but I want to try to keep everything the same. Mark the centers, I'll get them. Just figured that if I get totally lost in the weeds, it'll give me a place to start. But mostly I'm using these really large calipers, and I'll adjust them to just drag inside the Heim joints. And that should keep me where they need to be for setting the new joints in the correct location. And I'm going to grab another one of them big old wrenches. The joint's got a little flat spot on them to help. Of course, one's right hand and one's left hand thread. And they're pretty tight, and I got to keep from getting confused on which direction they go. But we'll get them loose here in a minute. Here, we've got them loose. Get them all off here, and they were pretty tight. There we go. And as I'm taking them out, I'm counting the rotations, and then wrote them down on my little cheat sheet there, just to keep in mind. I was also curious, as from the last time when I put on the squeaky ones, how close the two joints were to each other, and it turns out they're pretty close. Both of them were within a little half turn or two of being the same, so that was some precision that I didn't expect. And here my neighbor popped in to see what I was going to as I was pre-greasing the Heim joints, getting ready for installation. And at this point we got the joints all lubed up, trying to get them to screw into the center link. Still trying in my mind keep which side's right and which side's left. Had a little burr on the end of it, so it didn't want to start right. But go over and grab me, and I decided to go over and get me a little anti-seize, because I'm sure that for one reason or another I'll probably find my way back into these pieces again. It's the whole point of having your little hot rod. You got to have a reason to work on it. I spent a little more time here on this first one. Probably I needed to get a little fiddly. The center of the Heim joints move around, so I was trying to spend time getting them centered and getting it close, get a feel for it. The remaining ones went much quicker. But so far, everything's coming together as expected. The upper joint or arm is back in. I've got to adjust it out for the length. Here I'm addressing the lock nuts, spending a little time trying to make sure that the Heim joint is in the vertical plane and not one laid one way and one laid the other. So this is the final portion of the install, and it went well. Top arm went well. Pretty much the same amount of work for the bottom one. Once again, get these great big old 5-inch bolts broke loose. Get them threaded in and get it out. Swap them out. Bottom joint was same process as the top. Used the calipers, measured it out, get the lock nuts broke loose, get everything lubed up, and put back into place. Just finishing up here, same procedure, using the calipers to set the distance, and then I did the same thing on the other side of the car, pulled them off and changed everything. Took it out for a test drive, and it is just what I was hoping for. The squeak is gone, and now that it's gone, I realize how much I was hearing. So it's a nice little project, and once again, thanks for watching.